roster here. I'm watching as Adrian Wojnarowski is now reporting. There's also unprotected first 2031 and some future picks that are involved. There it is. So clearly the Timberwolves, they are very active right now with the Memphis Grizzlies. They are now on the clock. Richard, what do you think of this? Is a team that really, when you're talking about the Western Conference, it's only going to get better next year, and it's because of teams like the Grizzlies and the return of John Ball.
They had so much talent on their team just a couple of years ago before the injuries. They were one of the picks to go to the NBA Finals. They're able to bring back all of those guys. They got Bang, they got John Morant. They have a lot of talent. They got to go big. They got to go big.
Well, let's literally do a big play. Let's head back to NBA Commissioner Adam Silver.
With the 9th pick in the 2024 NBA Draft, the Memphis Grizzlies select Zach Edey from Toronto and Purdue University.
Wow. Andrea, you said go big, and they did, because Zach Edey, born in Toronto, Ontario, where he played hockey and baseball. He started playing basketball his sophomore year of high school, and then later attended IMG Academy in Florida. And then after 2 years at IMG, he announced his decision to attend Purdue. He became a two-time AP Player of the Year and has become one of the most decorated college basketball players of all time. At the NBA Combine, you can see the legends that he joined here with that two-time Player of the Year nod. With the Combine, his measurements came out, ready for this, Rich, 7'3" and 3/4, weighted at 299 pounds. His size isn't rarely in the NBA's game, but how will his game translate? I think it's been a question over and over again for Zach
Edey isn't just big, he's massive. Just absolutely massive. He's a physical force in the paint. Big, powerful inside presence with a 7'10" wingspan. His footwork has improved immeasurably from when he came out of high school as an unranked player. He's only been playing basketball for about 6 years, but he's got really good hands. He's got an excellent touch with both his right and left hand around the basket, keeps it high, rebounds at a really high level. Last year he had 25 points, over 12 rebounds a game, over 5 offensive rebounds. Gets fouled, goes to the free throw line and knocks his free throws down. But the fact that his footwork and mobility has improved so much over the last several years, I think his game is going to translate to the NBA. Is he going to be a guy that's going to be a stretch big? No. But he's going to change your rotation when he's put into the game because of his size.
What I love about his numbers is that every year he got better. Every year he improved. That's what NBA players and NBA teams want to see. When you look at their team, when you talk about Jaren Jackson Jr., Defensive Player of the Year just a couple of years ago. Now you're adding a big. Steven Adams, when he was out, there was a big hole in what they were trying to accomplish. So now all of a sudden you have another big. Jaren Jackson Jr., you got Bang, you got John Morant, you got Marcus Smart. This is a team that, if they can stay healthy, will be a force next year in the Western Conference.
But there were so many questions, as I said, about how his game is going to look in the NBA. I want to bring in our Adrian Wojnarowski into the conversation because I think there are a lot of folks who are surprised he went as high as number 9 here.
Zach Kleiman, the general manager in Memphis, he was determined to get a center in this lottery. He tried to get UConn's Donovan Clingan. He was negotiating right up until the final moments with Charlotte at number 6. He knew he had to get in front of Portland at 7. And when Clingan went off the board to the Blazers, Zach Edey now heads to Memphis, where he'll have an opportunity on a team returning that could be a 50-55 win regular season team to be the starting center.
Well, thank you. Well, you know what I love about that graphic where we show his stats getting better and better. What you don't see by just looking at those numbers is how every season he became more powerful. Every season he became more mobile. Every season he became more confident. Those things growing in his game. We talked about early in his career he was like a wall. Late in his career he's more like a battleship. Either way, he is daunting defensively. I don't think he's close to his ceiling. On now, the Utah Jazz, their pick is in, and let's go back to the podium and Commissioner Silver.
With the 10th pick in the 2024 NBA Draft, the Utah Jazz select Cody Williams from the University of Colorado.
Cody Williams, the first freshman drafted from Colorado in program history. He was a member of the Pac-12 all-freshman team. His discipline, his maturity, when you talk to folks around him, that is what they commend him on. He comes, of course, from a military background with his parents there, and that is where that comes from. He has leaned on his brother, Jalen, in this process. Jalen, of course, the 12th pick in 2022, and was a key piece for the Oklahoma City Thunder this year. Shaka Smart, the head coach from Marquette, said this of Cody Williams. He said, probably the best young player in the country. He is a ridiculous talented, Jay, that's for sure.
Long arm, versatile weight that can shoot it. He's got a
You guys have a handshake like that, Rich Jay? You got a lot of
wingspan not long enough to go But talking about Cody Williams, the versatility, the fact that he can shoot it, he's highly skilled. Very good in catch-and-shoot situations. He can get that shot off a little bit quicker. But a good defender because of his length, and he can switch and stay in front. One of the things he needs to improve upon, he's not a great rebounder right now. Not explosive, he's a little bit thin, so he needs some strength. But he can put the ball on the deck. That shot that he has means that he can draw defenders out, put them on the deck, and he's got long strides getting to the basket, and he's a good finisher. I think he needs to improve his pull-up game, but his length makes him a good defender and a personal defender that can switch and guard multiple positions. But Cody Williams has got a lot of ability and a lot of upside. I agree with Andre. He's got a high ceiling. As a freshman, he's barely 19 years old.
The thing about Cody Williams, too, Jay, and you know this, he played injured a lot towards the end of the season. You saw some of those highlights. He has a mask on. He had a broken orbital bone that he was playing through towards the end of the year. I think his numbers would have been even better towards the end of the season, but that alone shows his toughness. He is so skilled, naturally gifted scorer, great handles, great first step, great floor to build on. And now he is headed to the Utah Jazz. When we come back, Danny Hurley is going to join us right here on set. Hear from him on the other side of this break. But also, we're going to take a look back. Jay, 40 years ago, Michael Jordan doing this. You know it's serious when the tongue's out. We'll be right back.
Yeah. UEX-Con.
No alcohol detected.
First trial? I know what I'm doing. Wait for a great change, eh?
Gotta find those guys before the cops do. Everybody wins answers.
What are you doing? Taking notes on the criminal conspiracy.
Who needs to do this? Watch the trailer line.
We gotta go!
Twisters, rated PG-13, in theaters July 19th. Why not? Why? The eau de parfum and the new elixir. Isamara.
The innovation you've been waiting for is here. Built on a 16x cheese platform, it's the biggest breakthrough in crunch technology ever. Think big.
This is the mark of a fighter. A rich, full-flavored lager with a crisp, refreshing taste. A reward for those with a fighting spirit. You've earned this, so hold it high. The double, the mark of a fighter.
It likes to show all the routes.
Technology that's ready for the road ahead. The Lexus NX.
So much anticipation for this championship.
Chicago Bulls, the team that's ready to go next. They have the third pick today. The Chicago Bulls pick Michael Jordan, University of North Carolina. I can hear his engine rumbling now. 63 points, and you're looking at an all-time record.
He took off just a little inside that free throw line.
Years ago, Jay, this is your 22nd draft, so you weren't quite on that one.
I was in college. I played against Jordan in college.
One of the stacked draft classes ever.
The GM of the Portland Trailblazers that year was Stu Inman. And he called Bob Knight about who he should draft. He said, draft Jordan. He said, we need a center. He played Jordan center.
That's what you do with a talent like Michael Jordan. Speaking of the Chicago Bulls, their pick is in.
With the 11th pick in the 2024 NBA Draft, the Chicago Bulls select Matis Buzelis from Chicago and the NBA's G League team.
This is so special for Matis Buzelis, who grew up really just outside of Chicago. You can already hear the Bulls theme song. Every single time, I imagine he is as well. He played a myriad of sports growing up: gymnastics, swimming, which is still a part of his workouts, and soccer. Both his parents played professional ball in Lithuania, and he told our Adrian Wojnarowski that in Lithuania, basketball is a religion. He, of course, is coming from the G League Ignite. He struggled a bit this season, a 2-32 record, but he said he picked the Ignite because he wanted to play NBA rules. He wanted to shoot NBA threes here on Raya. He wanted to play against NBA veteran competition.
He wanted to be challenged, in other words, and I talked to Anthony McCutch, who was over G League Ignite all season, and he said Matis Buzelis was the best when it came to professional habits. He picked them up the easiest out of all of those young guys, and you already see the emotion from Matis especially.
Can you imagine, Jonathan, he is going home in his home in the NBA.
Malika NBA scouts scour the globe, searching for wing players like Matis Buzelis. 6'10" in shoes, a frame that will fly significantly in time, and NBA dunk contest caliber explosiveness. He brings outstanding instincts as a rim protector, developing playmaking, creating off the bounce, passing ability, and all kinds of versatility defensively on the perimeter. Now the big question is the jumper. He made just 27% of his threes this year, but there were some shooting indicators we've seen in previous settings. He shot 43% from three as a high school senior. Malika NBA teams will bet on Lithuanian jeans all day. Pound for pound is the top country in the basketball world.
Chicago Bulls president of basketball is Arturas Karnisovas, who happens to be Lithuanian himself.
But he was born here. He grew up in Chicago.
You know what? Look at the emotion that Matas Buzelis has when he hears that he is heading to Chicago. He also, his father is a physiotherapist. And this is his brother. I mean, look how emotional. You've been in their shoes, Richard.
It is emotional, and it's just emotional for the entire family. And this is also the love and the work that you've all put together to watch it happen.
Matas is with Monica.
Matas, I have an original question for you because I know you're a big-time trash talker, but I want you to put words to the emotion you're feeling first.
I'm blessed, man. This is what I wanted. I wanted to be here. I just thank you to the Bulls organization. I'm ready to work, man. I was born for this.
All right, so you got that out of the way. Now, as an elite trash talker, do you have a message for anybody that thought you couldn't be here? And that's totally fine, too.
I don't gotta say nothing. I thank everybody who doubted me. Thank you to everyone that doubted me because I wouldn't be here without y'all. I use it as fuel. And everybody that supported me, I can't thank you enough. The support cast has been insane. So I thank you to everyone.
All right, Matas, congratulations. You get to stay in your hometown of Chicago. Enjoy the rest of the night. You're welcome.
That is so incredible, getting to stay in your hometown, and you can see the emotion that he, his brother, the entire family really had. This right here, Andrea, this is what Draft Night is all about. We started tearing up watching this. Yes, watching them and the interviews are absolutely tearing me to shreds. I'm glad we are video for a while so I can put it together every time. I'm just so happy for all of these guys. And his brother. This is a moment for the entire
People don't understand. If you are one of the 30 that are selected, your entire family had to send you to IMG. There are players that have to leave their families and go to other countries. The amount of commitment that is needed for you to get here and the amount of support. And when you watch it, how many players have we seen drafted that have family members, brothers, other people involved? It takes a community to make these things happen.
People are going to think he was the one that got drafted.
He did. You're right. He saw the same thing with Alex. Alex was emotional because he was here and saw his brother's name not called. He was emotional for his brother. I can't express that enough. He'll cry multiple years after seeing this and remembering this moment.
He comes from a family of athletes. His grandfather was a basketball player. His grandmother was an all-time great Lithuanian handball player. One of the all-time greats. And you can see just how much this means to the entire family. And this is something that, you know, we've been sitting up here for several years now. And I don't mean this as hyperbole when I say it's one of my favorite nights of the year. And this is why. Because how often do you see what you work for years and years come to fruition in a single instant? A dream that is realized. And having a dream being realized so close to home, I can't emphasize enough how special that is.
Well, I promise you, on my draft day, I get drafted by Houston, then I get traded to New Jersey. I was not happy. I'm just not going to be really honest. I didn't know much about Jersey. The next day, I get a phone call saying that they traded for Jason Kidd, and there was other players to be named. So in my brain, I'm like, I either get to play with Jason Kidd, or I get to play with the Phoenix Suns. So when you get the opportunity to play close to home, to have your family, that means you have even more support around you to help this journey, because the journey is just beginning. This is not the end of the journey. This is the beginning of it.
Well, speaking of emotion, I got drafted in the 5th round by Dallas, and they asked me if I spoke Italian. So I cried heavy that night.
Because you skipped the Italians? Tears of joy as Buzelis joins Io DeSumo, Derrick Rose as the only Chicago-born players drafted by the Bulls in the lottery era since 1985. And now the Oklahoma City Thunder, the #1 seed in the Western Conference and the owner of roughly a billion picks, are on the clock. And now the pick, it is in. See, this is a pro. This is a pro. Who is headed to OKC?
With the 12th pick in the 2024 NBA Draft, the Oklahoma City Thunder select Nikola Topic from Belgrade, Serbia, and Serbia's Savina Zaveda.
Nikola Topic, he made his EuroLeague debut at just 16 years old. Our Jonathan Devoni, as he says, thank you so much, and shares this moment with his family, compares him to a LaMelo Ball, a Tyrese Halliburton. He has a partially torn ACL. He suffered the injury in January. He missed 4 months. Then he returned in late April, played 3 games, and re-injured the same knee. But for him, after going through all of that, you can imagine just what this moment means as he greets his future teammate on Oklahoma City. It's so special. I mean, Nikola Topic is a player that could run a masterclass when it comes to executing the pick and roll. He's patient with the ball in his hands, could get defenders on his back, he can change speeds. He's not super quick, but the way he changes speeds, he's able to manipulate defenders so well.
Yeah, he's the best passer in the draft, and he gains separation not through being explosive as a point guard, but doing it with his skill level. And passing, playmaking, he's been injured. That's the problem. You're going to have to wait on him for a while in order for him to get healthy, but he's got a fluid handle, really good passer.
And let's bring back in our Jonathan Devoni here. Jonathan, how much time do we expect him to miss, and what do you notice about this game?
Malika, I wouldn't expect to see Nikola Topic on an NBA court in the next season. Summer League in a year from now is probably the most realistic bet. But this is the best pick and roll playmaker in this draft class. He can make every read and pass under the sun at 6'7" in shoes and 18 years old. Pocket passes, skips, lobs, weak side, strong side. He sprays the ball all over the floor with incredible timing and precision. He's not just a great passer, he's also a powerful force, driving to the paint and finishing skillfully through contact. Malika, we're all looking forward to seeing Nikola Topic on an NBA floor, but we're going to be a little bit patient while we wait.
Well, we've seen rookies miss their entire first year. Chet Holmgren, Michael Porter Jr., Joel Embiid for various reasons come to mind. But he now joins just a decorated roster of Serbian players in the NBA. But say it with me, Richard. Nikola Jokic, Nikola Topic, Nikola Jovic. We're going to work on all those game broadcasts this year, baby.
I'm going to say Nikola. That's what I'm going to say a lot, just not to mess it. Look, we know Jokic, we know about that. But ultimately, again, Serbia is one of those countries that just generate so many talented players, and it just, especially that entire region. Lithuania, Serbia, Croatia, it is so impressive, the amount of basketball talent from that region.
And now we have a very special guest joining us here on set, UConn coach Dan Hurley. You can exhale now. Thank you so much for spending all the time. You like to be in the green room for this with players not on the NBA side of all this, and you have 2 top 7 picks in this draft. What was it like watching go through this, even though you've been here so many times before?
Yeah, amazing, really. And just with those 2 families and those types of young men, just such incredible people, and you just think of what they've done for UConn basketball, and now they get their own personal payout. Everybody won. We won championships, and now they live their dream.
I wanted to ask you specifically about Donovan Clingan, because I know he's a player. Recruiting him was very special for you. Staying close to home was special for him. What was it like to see him go so high and rise up the draft boards like this?
Well, I mean, he's from Bristol, and if we didn't get him, my whole staff was getting fired. They were all out, and just he's an incredible young man. Obviously, he anchored the best offense in the country, and he anchored the best defense in the country. And it's just so cool to see him going to Portland. I know Portland loves him, and I know there's another really big, great center that played there in Bill Walton, so it's exciting.
Defensively, especially with Stephon Castle. When he came back from injury, it seemed like he and Clingan helped you guys go from being a really good defensive team to truly elite. What does he bring to the NBA?
Yeah, I mean, with Steph, he just an incredible lockdown defender. When we needed him in different games to be a scorer. He was our leading scorer at the Final Four. But then when we needed him to be a defensive stopper, he locked up some of the best scorers in the country. When we needed him to facilitate, he created for others. And then, when he wasn't doing that, he was all over the glass. So, I think you're getting a guy who's a 6'6" Drew Holiday type of player.
Coach, you talked about Stephon Castle and how no one impacted winning, and he did it like a freshman. How no one did it the way he did as a freshman. How would you describe his preparedness and his maturity?
Well, with Quan and Stacy, when you got parents like that, it makes the coach's job really, really easy. And they weren't fans. They were great parents, and just old school values, and the kids got incredible work ethic, and just probably couldn't be a better fit organizationally for him. They value championships and winners and workers, and that's exactly what he is.
Dan Hurley, we always appreciate this annual chat that we have here on the set at the draft. Thank you so much for joining us. We wish you the best of luck in the three-peat pursuit. Let's see who the Sacramento Kings have selected.
With the 13th pick in the 2024 NBA Draft, the Sacramento Kings select Devin Carter from Providence College.
Devin Carter, just incredibly high basketball IQ. He was the Big East Player of the Year. He led the Big East in scoring this year, just a little bit under 20 points a game. His father, Anthony, played 13 seasons in the NBA and is currently an assistant for the Memphis Grizzlies. He says the biggest thrill in sports is hitting a game winner. Well, the Sacramento Kings know something about electric offense, Jay, and hitting those type of big shots.
He's one of the best athletes in this draft. Super athletic, incredibly active, and really productive. And Dan Hurley was just talking about Stephon Castle. Devin Carter is also a high-level defender, and he's a great guard rebounder. He's top 10 in the country in defensive rebounds as a guard. He's only 6'3", but he's got almost a 6'9" wingspan. He is tough, he's competitive, and he doesn't have an off switch. But with his athleticism and motor and with his agility, he can really impact the game on the defensive end, getting deflections, block shots. He makes things happen as a defensive playmaker. And you mentioned him, Malik, he averaged 20 points a game as well.
Not to mention, as a curly girl, big fan of him. Let's take a look at tonight's prospect resume. It is brought to us by Indeed here on Andrea. Devin Carter, first of all, amazing last name. Let's just give him credit for the best last name. One of the best two-way guards. His defensive versatility and the intensity he plays with on that side of the ball. Just under 2 steals a game. He is so active. He's an aggressive scorer. I like to call him a persistent scorer. You just can't stop him when he's pursuing the rim, when he's attacking the paint. And my biggest thing with him is the way he improved his game. 2 seasons ago, 30% from beyond the arc. This past season, 38% from beyond the arc. Jay mentioned his rebounding as a guard. He attacks the defensive glass, and then he pushes in transition. A ridiculous athlete. His hops, 42-inch vertical at the top of the draft. His speed as well. He brings a ton to the NBA court. He is NBA ready.
He makes winning plays. I mean, he impacts winning. Started his career in South Carolina, transferred to Providence, where he was the first Big East Player of the Year in Providence since Chris Dunn.
Let's take a look here at some of his measurables, taken, of course, at the NBA Draft Combine.
Well, when you talk about wingspan like that, especially for a guard, what that does, that allows your handle. That allows you to finish over bigger players. That allows you to extend your arm. That allows you so many different things. So when people look at height, wingspan, yeah, great wingspan, but it's in that comparison to your height. Those are the things that are like little measurables that allow players to get an advantage in small spaces.
And now you're seeing the Portland Trail Blazers. They are on the clock, but actually, this pick is headed to Washington. So let's bring in our Adrian Wojnarowski. What are the details of this trade here?
Malika, Washington is sending Denny Avdia, sharp shooting forward to the Blazers. They send back Malcolm Brogdon the 14th pick here in the draft. Washington also drafted Alex Sard, number 2, a 2029 first-round pick, and 2 second-round picks. This is certainly a Portland team that gets better without Avia, but Washington, they're in a full rebuild right now, and you're going to see them probably in the lottery again next year and the year after, as they do something that hasn't been done in a very long time there, kind of take this program down to the studs, but for Washington now, they get another pick in this first round. Denny Avia, though, on his way to the Blazers.
Denny Avia on his way to the Blazers. Woj, thank you very much. So behind us, you see that the Portland Trail Blazers are on block, and we want to take a look at some notable draft anniversaries that we're seeing here. And even though, yes, this pick is headed to Washington, it is the 50th anniversary of the great Bill Walton, a personality who was larger than life. He was so kind to so very many of us. Richard, you had an incredibly special relationship.
I still get emotional talking about it. He meant so much to me as a mentor, as a father figure. And also when you just watch how he lived his life. And he loved the game of basketball. He recognized that the game of basketball changed his life. And anytime he met someone, he was not afraid to share that story about the game of basketball, about working with John Wooden, about all of the injuries that he went through, and also about his love for broadcasting and talking about this game. So this is an amazing anniversary, and I'm so happy to celebrate him and his family. The tribute that they did with the Boston Celtics was amazing.
Anytime we would talk to Bill Walton, we would say, how are you doing? And most people kind of blow that off, and he says, you know what? I'm the luckiest guy in the world. I'm certain that's how these drafting feels.
14th pick in the 2024 NBA draft, the Portland Trail Blazers select Bub Carrington from the University of Pittsburgh.
Bub Carrington. Fans in Washington, even though Portland is taken, are going to call him Bub. He is the first to the nickname Bub Stuff. But I mean, this is a guy who had triple-double in his college debut. His father comes from a basketball family, is a prominent figure in the Baltimore AAU scene, having coached players like Will Barton, Carmelo Anthony. And you can just see how much this means to him, sharing it with his entire family. I'm loving the handshakes tonight. They're really going to the next level. I'm sure he's going to take his handshakes with him to Washington. But Jay, what else are they getting?
Well, you see maybe Jeff Cable there. Carl Carrington is a scorer, and he's versatile as a guard, but he can create his own. He can do it in the mid-range. He can shoot it from deep. He's got a very good feel in pick-and-roll situations and making reads. And RJ was just talking about length. He's got a 6'8" wingspan, and he's a very good guard rebounder. But he's got a very good dribble pull-up game, and he can shoot it off the catch. But a good passer as well. You mentioned that triple-double he had earlier this season, but he just knows how to play. And I thought he played his best toward the end of the season, especially in the ACC tournament, when Pittsburgh was making a push toward the NCAA tournament. I thought they should have gotten in. But he's a really good player that I think has a lot of upside because he's still very young. He's just 18 years old.
He's more bumped down than you.
I like his style already. He's going to be successful right away.
And Rich just actually dropped one button in solidarity.
It's after 9 o'clock.
You mentioned the ACC tournament, and you were calling games, and I was sitting there on the sidelines with Jay Will and Carlos Boozer, and I can't tell you, but I can't tell you how many times we would just look at each other with our eyes wide at plays that Bub Carrington made with the ball in his hands.
Well, Bub Carrington, Jonathan Gavoni says, just going to need a little bit of time and some seasoning, he says, to be ready to play some real NBA minutes. Coming up here, the Miami Heat, they are on the clock. What is the future of Jimmy Butler in Miami? And the 76ers, might another star be headed to the city of brotherly love? And the Los Angeles Lakers, with a new head coach in place, they have the 17th overall pick. Who are they going to select there? We'll be right back. What's this?
Non-negotiable. That's how restaurants at the highest level are.
These are the scribblings of a man.
It's not perfect. It doesn't go out.
Why are you doing this?
We're gonna get started.
I thought it was a trap. You need to calm down.
What's going on tonight? Have you been here before?
FX's The Bear. All episodes streaming June 27th, only on Hulu.
Disney and Pixar's critically acclaimed Inside Out 2 is breaking records across the world.
Time to celebrate!
Critics and audiences have fallen in love, and now it's the #1 movie in the world.
She'll be okay, right?
50-50. Disney and Pixar's Inside Out 2. Rated PG. Now playing.
Refresh your senses with a kick of citrus flavor. Do the do.
This hot, delicious KFC meal is just $4.99 all day, every day. Good luck finding a deal this juicy anywhere else.
Whoa, that's a big deal.
Yeah, that is a really, really, really big deal.
Once upon a time, there was an infinity. Meticulously crafted to stir your imagination. And dare you to dream. Luxurious, 3-row dreams. Where everything for every passenger could be just right. Introducing the all-new 3-row Infiniti QX80.
I have arrived. They're with me, and we came to play. We are cooler than cool. Serving princess vibes. We have a license to glide, embracing all of our magic. We came to feast. We came to believe. Yeah, we came to play.
Marathon knows that fans are the true co-pilot of any team. So for every grill master, all-star athlete, and face paint fixer, Marathon is here to keep you and your team fueled. Because we're driven together.
BK melts full of flame grill layers. Meet the new Philly, it's stacked with flavor. Juicy beef and melty cheese. All these toppings will make you say sheesh. BK, have it your way.
Karen's about to retire. Here's what's going into her retirement.
There's us. She raised us on our own.
10 years as my roller derby wife.
3 schools she's opened.
She's a mother.
I think we turned out all right.
She's a friend.
Our mothers could tell stories.
She's a teacher.
She may be retiring, but she's not done.
I'm never gonna stop.
Retirement is the sum of your life's work. Now what? Get income for life and protect your life's work with Prudential.
League legends take on the next gen. As DT and BG take the floor against the Fever for the first time.
Come on, Taylor, here we go.
Fever, Mercury, we can't get enough. Sunday at 3 p.m. on ESPN.
You're watching the 2024 NBA Draft presented by State Farm. We have a busy weekend coming up here in the WNBA on Sunday on ESPN. We're going to start right here at Barclays Center. The Liberty hosts the Dream. That's at 1 o'clock Eastern. And then Caitlin Clark, the Fever, taking on Phoenix and the Mercury. Our coverage gets underway with WNBA Countdown. That's at 12:30 Eastern. And then you can see the Stars of tomorrow play, well, almost today, in July, in the Las Vegas Summer League. The NBA 2K 2025 Summer League is the first opportunity to see the NBA's future stars take the court. So the lottery may have been concluded, but remember, there are some gems that have been picked outside of the lottery.
Yeah, and look, we've seen MVPs. We've talked about Nikola Jokic being an MVP in the second round, but when you look at this, there are so much talent to be had 13 on the way down. It doesn't matter the level of the draft. There will be an all-star picked after the lottery, I guarantee you, because it happens in almost every year.
You know who is better than basically anyone else at finding those gems? It would be the Miami Heat, who are now on the clock. Eric Spoelstra, you see him there. They have been, and look at Pat Riley. He's just zen. He knows exactly our work here is done. We're confident in our process. Of course, Jaime Jaquez was their pick last year. But I think one question for the Miami Heat, outside of who they are selecting right now, is going to be the future of Jimmy Butler in Miami. But right now, the pick is in, so let's head back to the podium.
With the 15th pick in the 2024 NBA Draft, the Miami Heat select Khalil Ware from Indiana University.
Khalil Ware, the sophomore center out of Indiana, played his freshman season, of course, at Oregon, sharing this moment with his family. Just taking in all the emotions with the folks who really helped get him to this moment. The emotions, we've seen them all night long for players who've been waiting to hear their dreams be realized, their names be called. He started in all 30 games he played in. He led the Hoosiers in points per game, rebounds per game, blocks per game, field goal percentage. Really a special player here, Jay.
The biggest jump, Malika, that Khalil Ware made from the time he was at Oregon to his time last year at Indiana was how much harder he plays now. The question about him when he was at Oregon was his motor. And his motor revved really high this past season at Indiana. His measurables are great. 7'4" wingspan. He's 6'11", but he's long-armed. He's super athletic, and he puts pressure on the rim at both ends of the floor. You can see the difference in his production. I mean, he's became a big-time rebounder, just under 10 rebounds a game. Finishing plays, scoring. He became an improved shooter, but that's an area where he can still improve. I still think he needs to get stronger in his lower body, but a good rim protector and shot blocker with that length and that mobility. On the offensive end, he's a lob threat. He's just a talented player that is continuing to get better, and he's got great upside. But the fact that he's playing this much harder and shows that he's got the potential to do more is really impressive, and I'm sure that's what the Miami Heat saw in him. But he's been able to push that range out a little bit better.
Yeah.
Still shoots only 63% from the free throw line, but he has improved that shot. Went 17 of 40 this last year from three, just over 40%. But there's a lot to like about Ware.
Well, and that development that you're talking about, the perfect place to go is the hat that he's picking up right now. The Miami Heat really savoring that moment before he put that cap on his head and greeted the commissioner, Adam Silver. I want to bring in our front office insider, Bobby Marks, here, because the Miami Heat have some interesting decisions to make right now. Chiefly, what is the future of Jimmy Butler in Miami? Because they've been pretty clear. This is Bam Adebayo's team now here, Bobby.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have to do anything with Jimmy Butler right now. He's under contract for at least the next 2 years. He's got a player option for next year. He's extension eligible right now. You can certainly let this play out and address it next offseason. Here's a player that has not been available to Miami here. So I look at the Heat. Certainly the Butler decision will loom, but this was kind of their free agency as far as what they did at the draft with picks 15. Khalil Ware, he was a free agent in this year's group of NBA players, he would probably be the third or fourth best center out there. So they addressed the need in Miami with this pick right now.
And they really just need to get a healthy season from Hero, Adebayo, and Jimmy Butler so they can see what they're working with that core. Bobby, I want to ask you about the team that is on the clock now, the Philadelphia 76ers, because it looks like, if you just look over there to the city of brotherly love, they do have the room to add another key player. Can you break that down for us?
Yeah, Philadelphia is kind of in the driver's seat going into the offseason. They can create up to $65 million in cap space, but that would have them trading out of 16 right now. So certainly you're looking at putting high-level starters next to Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid, and I think we got to keep an eye on one player that's still on the board that I thought would go in the lottery is Dalton Knecht from Tennessee. He would certainly complement. I know he's 23 years old. I know NBA teams get scared when players are not in their teens, but keep an eye on Knecht, either at Philadelphia or a team like the Los Angeles Lakers.
We'll keep an eye on Knecht, but as we come back here to the desk for just a second, there is Dalton Knecht. As Bobby Mark said, he could be a fit for Philadelphia. But as we come back here to the desk, because this is when Joel Embiid and Paul George were sitting on our NBA countdown desk.
Side-eyeing.
This was the look that Joel Embiid gave Paul George. I'm not sure that was the start of something, Richard, but with Joel Embiid, who, you know, used to go by Troll Embiid, maybe it is.
Well, look, Paul George is a very, very talented player, one of the best two-way players in this league. The Clippers have struggled with health. And, you know, they've talked about the contract that he was offered in LA. And so he's weighing his options. He's an LA guy. But yes, Philadelphia could be one of the landing spots for him. When you talk about Tyrese Maxey, when you talk about Joel Embiid, but so many things. We talked about Miami and the health. Can they get Tyler Hero? Can they get Jimmy Butler healthy? Well, that exact same thing goes for Philly. If you bring in a guy like Paul George, he's got to stay healthy, and so does Joel Embiid. We saw their team really plummet from the moment he got injured to basically the moment he tried to come back.
And if you don't bring in a guy like Paul George, let's say they can't get him, one thing Philadelphia could use is three-point shooting. So you talk about a guy like Dalton Knecht, Jared McCain, Jacoby Walter. There's so great three-point shooters left on the board.
Johnny Furphy can shoot it.
Yep.
Yeah. I want to bring Jonathan Givony back into the conversation if we could here in just a moment, because Jonathan, we talked a little bit about Dalton Knecht. I know you have something to add here.
I'm shocked that Dalton Knecht is still on the board here. For the last 30 minutes, I've been racking my brain, texting every GM saying, what is going on? Why is Dalton Knecht falling? They say there's no medical concern. It's strictly because of the age. We're going with teenagers here. I really do not understand this. Dalton Knecht was a first-team All-American, SEC Player of the Year. He shot 40% for three. He can help an NBA team right now. He needs to come off the board in the next pick or two at worst.
I think a lot of times when they draft that young, it's the by them time, not necessarily the players. If you can have a player that can contribute, that knows how to play, that has been through battles, that if you're a senior or if you've been in college for a year, you've seen so much. We talk about Edie going through that process and getting better every year. You're not the best player you're going to be at 21 years old. You're not the best player you're going to be at 23 or 24. So to say that we want to draft 19-year-olds, and I agree that might be their method, but drafting just 19-year-olds, by the time they are even able to sign a second contract, they're 21 years old. It's just so confusing to me.
The entire panel, Bobby Marks, Jonathan Givony, Jacob, everyone has turned their head.
Bobby drafted me when I was 21. What are you talking about, Bobby?
Richard right now.
Yeah. How'd that work out for you, Bobby?
Bobby's just shaking his head over there at Richard Jefferson. But Jay, what do you see Philadelphia doing with this pick here?
Well, if they need shooting, I think some have been mentioned. Jacoby Walter of Baylor can shoot it. You know, we mentioned Dalton Knecht, Jared McCain, Johnny Furphy can shoot it. Keyshawn George is a good shooter and a teenager. If they want teenagers, they got Furphy and George.
Yeah.
When it comes to being tough, too, because I think something that Philly could use is perimeter defense. Jacoby Walter, tough defender. Jared McCain, tough defender, and both freshmen. So I think those would possibly be the two best options here for Philly.
Here's Jared McCain looking sharp with the double diamond brooch and 2 chains. I think you would look good in something like that, Rich.
Look, he's a well-dressed man, and I will say this. He's got an energy and just something about him that I think he would be great in any locker room in this league.
Let's head back to the podium.
We have a trade to announce. As part of a deal to be finalized later, the Portland Trail Blazers are trading to the Washington Wizards the draft rights to Bub Carrington, the 14th pick. And with the 16th pick in the 2024 NBA Draft, the Philadelphia 76ers select Jared McCain from Duke University.
Jared McCain, his mantra has been, I'm going to make it for Jace, for his brother, who had blood clots in high school, and McCain says it's not just his dream, but our dream, him and his brothers, to make it to the NBA. Richard, this is what you were talking about. It's everyone, an entire family getting drafted, and Jace was a grad assistant at Duke, so he was able to watch film and rebound for McCain, but Jace, he says, is his biggest inspiration.
I had the pleasure to meet him when he was still a senior in high school. I did a project with him and Juju Watkins, and from that moment, I have followed him at Duke. He just has an energy about him, a smile. There are certain people that when they get on the court, you watch. When you think about Tyrese Halliburton, when Tyrese Halliburton is on the court, he looks like a guy that you want to play with. Jared McCain, say what you want about the TikTok, the 2.7 million followers. He's got 1 million more than I do. I'm trying to get my followers up.
2.8 now.
Yeah, 2.8 now. It's going to just go up higher. But they're just certain players that when you watch them play and you see the energy that they bring to the game and just to life, you're like, I want that player on my team. I want that player in my locker room.
Jay Billis is such an interesting experience. Not only have you seen him play, but you also got a manicure with Jared McCain. He says he's not really superstitious, but he played well after getting a manicure the first time. You see his nails painted black for this occasion, and he just kept doing it. So you had to get in on that French tip action.
Yeah, I mean, that really does sound inappropriate, but I did get my nails painted with Jared McCain, and he's a terrific young man. But the stuff that he's got going on off the court, you might question with another player, but with him, he's such a dedicated worker and such a tough competitor. And that's one of the things that stands out, is he's really tough. He's an outstanding shooter, shot 41% from three, makes almost 90% of his free throws. I mean, he's had some great games this last year, put up 35 on the road against Florida State in the NCAA tournament, hit 8 threes against James Madison. And he's competitive. He gets to the glass. Even though he's an undersized guard, he goes to the glass, averages over 5 rebounds per game. He competes on the defensive end. He's not a big-time athlete. He's not explosive, and he's not big. But he can really knock down shots. And he plays a physical brand of basketball as well. There's a ton to like about Jared McCain. You just wish he were bigger.
He sets his feet quickly. He has a high release. He might redefine toughness in Philly. Don't let the nail painting fool you. He might have grown men painting their nails in the city.
I don't know if Philly's going to start.
Philly's not going to start doing this. But I will say this. He knows that people are going to try him. He has seen that, and he has met that challenge. That's why he's here today.
And now he's with Armonica McNutt. I'm really looking forward to this interview.
We have not just Jared, but also Jace. You said you wanted to get drafted for your brother. The moment is here. How are you feeling?
There's no words to describe it. I'm so grateful for this opportunity. And I have no words.
Jace, this guy dedicating this moment and this path and this push to you and being inspired by you, how does that make you feel?
It means everything to me, man. He worked so damn hard for this. And I'm just blessed to be a part of this journey, and it's such a big part of my purpose as a person, so it's everything to me.
Now, much has been made of your 2 million plus TikTok following, right? But now you're starting your NBA career, and I'm sure that's something that you will share with those that are rooting for you. But what will they see of Jared McCain, the NBA player?
Just somebody who wants to achieve any goal he sets out to, a hard worker. I'm going to do anything I can to bring home a championship, bring home just wins in general. I'm so happy to be here, man.
It's a great moment. Jared, congratulations. Jace, congratulations. You guys enjoy it.
Monica, thank you. Just what a tremendous moment for the whole family. He is really, Jared McCain, into yoga, meditation, journaling. He credits the book, The Inner Game of Tennis, for his mental approach to the game here. And Jay, you touched on it. I mean, he really had a coming out party in the tournament, those 2 30-point games, and Duke, of course, making it to the Elite Eight. But now, the Los Angeles Lakers, they are on the clock. A gentleman we know quite well.
Rob Pelinka?
Rob Pelinka. And the other guy in the polo, do we recognize him? J.J. Redick.
Oh, the one with the full sleeve.
Yeah, the new head coach for the Los Angeles Lakers. They look like they are thrilled with whatever decision they just made at the number 17 pick. Really the ceiling for this Los Angeles Lakers team. We all know that it comes down to just the health of LeBron James, Anthony Davis, how much they can be out on the floor together. We saw that this season, and still the ceiling was the 7th seed in a tough Western Conference.
Yeah, it is very, very tough in that Western Conference. It starts with health, but the players around them also have to play better. When you talk about Vanderbilt not being healthy, he was such an important part to their Western Conference final run the year before, was really injured the whole year. Vincent wasn't able to contribute. There were other guys that had down years. Yes, Anthony Davis, LeBron James, they are the base of what you do, but it doesn't matter. You look at the Boston Celtics, your 2 best players, but you got 5 or 6 other players around them that are contributing at a high level. The Lakers have to continue to build around their two stars.
Well, and the Lakers have made a decision on who they are going with for the number 17 pick. Let's find out with NBA Commissioner Adam Silver.
We have another trade to announce. As part of a deal to be finalized later, the San Antonio Spurs are trading to the Minnesota Timberwolves the draft rights to Rob Dillingham, the 8th pick. And with the 17th pick in the 2024 NBA Draft, the Los Angeles Lakers select Dalton Knecht from the University of Tennessee.
Andrea Carter, our resident Vole.
Wish that I was okay, I'm done. I'm not gonna sing rock and roll. I don't have a voice
It's
for that.
warranted. They're playing They Not Like Us in here? Okay, the party is turning up. The last Tennessee player taken top 20 was Tobias Harris. That was 19th overall in 2011. But Dalton Knecht, the SEC Player of the Year, first team AP All-American. It really is a tremendous story here. Andrea, he received no Division I scholarship offers as a senior, so he went to junior college. He spent 2 years at Northeastern Junior College, 2 years at Northern Colorado, a year at Tennessee that he calls the best year of his life. But his coach at Northeastern Junior College told this to The Athletic. He said, when people say a gym rat, that's what he is. He loves being in the gym. He loves the smell of it. He loves the sound of it. This is still the quote.
Okay.
That's how much he likes to be in the gym working on his craft.
Well, They Not Like Us is an appropriate song because not many guys started where Dalton Knecht was and get to have this moment where you put the hat on and you shake the commissioner's hand. What?
Started from the bottom, now he's here.
Yes, they're playing They Not Like Us, but that song works also.
No.
But when it comes to Dalton Knecht, he can flat out score. He is such a lights out shooter. Catch and shoot from beyond the three-point line. He can get the ball off in transition off of the dribble from beyond the three-point line. He can finish in the mid-range. Any angle, any depth from the three-point line, it does not matter. But he can finish on the inside too. He's got great length. The scoring ability of Dalton Knecht will translate immediately to the NBA level.
He's the Roy Hobbs of basketball. Came out of nowhere this last year to be first-team All-America. And his opponents in the SEC had Knecht rules in order to guard him. Now, they went after him on the offensive end to test his defense, and that's where he needed to improve when he got under Rick Barnes after 2 years at Northern Colorado. He became a better defender, but there's still a long way to go for him on the defensive end, but he's got all the tools. Athletically, size, he's got a 6'9" wingspan. But I agree, Andrea, he can really score. He can shoot it off the deck, and he can finish once he gets to the rim. He's a big-time scorer.
I look forward to seeing the connection that he builds with the Los Angeles Lakers, but just a little bit more on his story here, Andrea. He grew up. I mean, look at the cute baby photos here. I love those. He grew up in Thornton, Colorado. He was 5'8" as a sophomore and then shot up to 6'6" when he was in junior college. Again, he received no Division I scholarship offers and is now a first-round pick.
And what's really special about Dalton Knecht is he went to Tennessee to be challenged by Rick Barnes on the defensive end. He went to Tennessee to be coached hard and to be held to a high standard. That's what he wanted, and his game grew tremendously because of it.
And now he is connecting with Monica McNutt.
Dalton, I understand you have a little surprise?
Yeah, I got something underneath the suit. Got all my accolades on the left. And, got a support foundation. And shout out the baseball team and stuff like that for winning. But, I'm excited.
We see the Gucci label, too, as well. All right, look, there's a guy that had a similar path to yours in Derek White that just became an NBA champion, went from D2 to the NBA. You're coming from junior college and now have this opportunity. What has changed for you when you didn't get any offers coming out of high school to get you to this moment?
It's a dream come true. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, but, it's just a blessing. That's all I can say. I'm lost for words, and I'm ready to get to work.
When you get to work, though, what are your new teammates going to say about you?
Hard worker. I'm going to be in the gym every single day. That's what I do.
Outstanding. Congratulations, Dalton.
Appreciate you.
Dalton Knecht headed to the Los Angeles Lakers, and now the Orlando Magic, they are on the clock. So Orlando really had a successful season, Richard, after years of sort of trying to get back into the playoffs, figuring out which direction that they were going to go. Now they have this young nucleus.
They're ready.
They're ready.
Hey, look, you don't have to get ready if you stay ready.
And they stayed ready. Let's go to NBA Commissioner Adam Silver, who's been ready all night long.
With the 18th pick in the 2024 NBA Draft, the Orlando Magic select Tristan da Silva from Munich, Germany, and the University of Colorado.
Tristan da Silva, the senior forward from Colorado. He was all Pac-12 selections the last 2 seasons. He was teammates with Cody Williams. So a couple of selections for Colorado here. His family is wearing lederhosen, as you can see here, because he was born and raised in Munich, Germany. So just saluting their heritage, Dad. But his father, there's heritage there, but his father was a professional boxer in Brazil. His brother, Oscar, an all Pac-12 forward at Stanford and then played overseas. He speaks 5 languages: German, Portuguese, Spanish, English, and French. So, Jay, which language should we talk about his game in?
English. I'm going to go English, barely. But Tristan da Silva is fundamentally sound. And he's really well-rounded. Like, he's a complete player, and he can play every area of the game well. I'm not sure he has one of the highest ceilings in this draft, but he has a really high floor. Versatile. He can space the floor as a 40% three-point shooter. He is an excellent cutter. He moves well without the ball, and an outstanding passer. He's really smart with a high basketball IQ. He just checks a lot of boxes out there. Knocks his free throws down at an 85% rate. But he can space the floor as a shooter. He puts it on the deck, plays well with others, and a very good team defender. I think Orlando made a really nice pick of a guy that just knows how to play.
Go ahead, Richard.
No. I was just going to talk about the Orlando Magic and what they are building and how impressive it's been.
Yeah.
They were ahead of their timetable. And when you see that they're drafting another versatile wing, when they already got Franz Wagner, they already got Paolo Banchero, they're loading up on those wings, because you know who's got the most wings? The Boston Celtics.
Right.
So when you start seeing these teams, especially ones that look like they're trending in that direction like the Orlando Magic are, they're well coached. They look like the organization has a plan for the first time in a long time, and I really like this pick.
I mean, this supports, what have we said all season long? What do we say when it comes to the playoffs? Styles make fights. Orlando Magic building the style of play and supporting that here with this pick.
The wing, the most valuable position really right now in the NBA. Tristan da Silva headed to the Orlando Magic. And now the Toronto Raptors, they are on the clock at number 19. This really has been a night where we have seen so many emotions from players, their families. Let's just take a look back.
Heard they was sleeping again, say it no more. This is a rude awakening, kicking the door. Back and I'm better than ever before. Don't get it mistaken, I'm ready for war.
Hey, it's me, your skin. Some cleansers get us clean, but take my moisture. CeraVe cleansers help me maintain my moisture balance with hyaluronic acid plus 3 essential ceramides to help restore my natural barrier. So we're CeraVe clean.
CeraVe Hydrating Cleanser.
When you're a sports fan, nothing beats being there. Are you kidding me? And when you're with Amex Platinum, you never miss the next big moment. That's the powerful backing of American Express.
But this wasn't in our scope.
I don't want excuses. This is a big deal.
On summer stuff.
What?
The deals on Summer of Dash Pass.
5 weeks of DoorDash's biggest deals?
Like deals on groceries and sunscreen.
Or beach stuff.
I don't.
Heading to the beach! Join us!
Summer of Dash Pass. Your door to 5 weeks of deals. Starts June 20th. DoorDash.
You are bountiful. Your bones can support 2 times your weight. It's in your nature to stand strong. Your cells renew every 27 days. It's in your nature to glow. Your digestion can improve by laughing with friends. It's in your nature to thrive. Your body is brilliant. From your head to your heels, we're just here to supplement you. Nature's bounty. It's in your nature.
There are many ways to do things. At Old Dominion Freight Line, we do them this way. This way has people who start early, people who care and inspire each other to do things the way they should be done. This way uses technology and goes the extra mile to deliver your promises on time, every time. This way is why we're the #1 national LTL carrier for quality. For us, this way is the right way, which is why it's the only way we go.
This is a payday bar with tons of peanuts and caramel that get the job done, so you can think of it as a tool to hammer your hunger, cut your appetite in half, and demolish your urge for peanuts. Payday. Get to it. Also try chocolatey payday.
So all season long, AT&T has connected diehard fans and AT&T customers to a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And look at this. These moments have been bringing fans closer to the NBA than ever before, including Kaylin Strahan, her mother, Latricia, who are both here at the NBA draft. Kaylin said that she started watching the draft with her grandfather, and now to see it up close is really something special. The Toronto Raptors, they are on the clock with the 19th pick. Of course, this pick is a product of the Pascal Siakam trade. And really, for the Toronto Raptors, the question is, what is the next phase of their roster reconstruction after trading Pascal Siakam and OG Anunoby during the season? Their pick is in, so let's find out who is headed to the north.
With the 19th pick in the 2024 NBA Draft, the Toronto Raptors select Jacoby Walter from Baylor University.
Jacoby Walter from Baylor. He had 28 points in his debut. He was the Big 12 Freshman of the Year. And I have a fun fact for you, Rich.
Please.
Jacoby. His parents named him after 2 all-time greats of the game. Jacoby paying homage to Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan. So the Jordan, Kobe, Jacoby. But his coach, Drew Scott, compliments his feel of the game. He says he just looks like he's been playing the college game for years, even though he was a one-and-done. And maybe that comes from partly his father, who won a 1995 NAIA Division I championship, Andrea.
I mean, Jacoby Walter is an elite scorer. He is so good at getting his shot off of the dribble, off of many moves. You see the emotion here from him.
It's just such a beautiful moment here for Jacoby Walter and his family.
But he impacts both ends of the floor. I've always been impressed all season long, Jay. We had multiple college game day shows where we talked about the way he scores, but he's a solid defensive player as well and an elite athlete.
He really came along defensively under Scott Drew, and that's another first-round draft pick for Scott Drew and Baylor. But he's an excellent shooter, 6'10" wingspan. He's only 6'4",
look at that.
but he gets the shot off quickly and from deep, and is especially good coming off screens. And one thing that was underrated about him was he got to the foul line a lot, shot over 5 free throws per game. I still think he needs physicality and needs to be able to add better going off the bounce to his game. That's something he can do, but I think he can do at a much higher level. But he's got a really high ceiling as a shooter, a floor spacer, and as Andrea says, he's a good defender that can switch and guard 1 through 3.
And the way that he gets his shot off, like in the NBA, you have to have moves and you have to have counter moves. You saw in the highlight, you just shook your head down.
Yeah, I'm on the step back.
Behind the back into the step back. Like it's not the first move that gets you your shot. It's the first and then the second move. He already has that in his bag.
Well, you mentioned seeing another top pick for Baylor. It's the 4th straight year that Baylor has had a top 20 pick. Now the Cleveland Cavaliers, Richard, you know those guys.
I'm familiar.
They are on the clock. That's coming up after the break.
This week on Chewy, shop all your pet's favorites and get a $30 e-gift card. Enjoy more savings on more food, more toys, and more treats. More of everything they love delivered right to your door, only with Chewy.
See that beer cap? It's the luckiest piece of metal in the world. It could have been a screw on a patio chair, or a bent staple that just won't staple. But here it is, chairing the welcome committee for an authentic Mexican Dos Equis. Well, look at that. The welcome committee is at it again.
Applebee's late night, because half off is just more fun. Now that's eating good in the neighborhood.
At Apartments.com, every time a new listing is added, we get this alert, so no. Or, yeah. Now, of course, after hearing it millions of times, I barely even notice it anymore. Okay, everybody goes, everybody goes, everybody goes, everybody.
What's happening?
That's not right. Apartments.com, the place to find a place.
Bounce back fast from heartburn with new Tums Gummy Bites and love food back.
Gatorade, the world's most superior sports drink, designed to rehydrate, replenish, and refuel. It fuels the best because it is the best. Gatorade, is it in you?
Flag football is coming.
Yeah. That's what it's talking about.
The future of football is here.
Go out there and ball out and just play your game.
As the game explodes with the new big event of the summer,
always chase your goal. You can't give up.
The next generation of stars has arrived. NFL Flag Championships, presented by Toyota, July 19th through the 21st on ESPN, ABC, and more Disney networks.
Welcome back to the 2024 NBA Draft. Saturday in Las Vegas, it's UFC 303 exclusively on ESPN Plus pay-per-view. Welcome back to Barclays Center, where now the Cleveland Cavaliers are on the clock, but we have certainly seen French picks dominate at the top of the draft this year, similarly to the way that we saw Victor Wembanyama be selected #1 overall last season. But let's dive in here on the Cleveland Cavaliers, who just this week hired Kenny Atkinson, as Woj reported, as their next head coach. Woj, what do the next steps look like for this franchise?
Yeah, well, look at Kenny Atkinson just got off a plane today in Cleveland. Came in from Europe, where he's an assistant coach with the French national team this summer in the Olympics. But he comes over from Golden State. I'm told that he just today finalized his new deal with the Cavaliers. 5 years, a 5-year deal to coach Cleveland, and now he's in the draft room with them tonight.
5-year deal for Kenny Atkinson. And he was in the draft room where the pick was just made.
With the 20th pick in the 2024 NBA Draft, the Cleveland Cavaliers select Jalen Tyson from the University of California, Berkeley.
Jalen Tyson, an all Pac-12 first-team selection this season, Jay.
A Texas kid that first went to the University of Texas, then to Texas Tech, and then